Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
School vouchers hotly debated in Texas tonight. Governor Greg Abbott is in San Antonio with a big announcement. What parents and teachers are saying about this coming up.
Plus, the newest information regarding a San Antonio Park police officer shooting a man at Woodlawn Lake Park.
All right, good morning to everyone out there. Hopefully you had a great weekend, everyone. It is President's Day.
It is President's Day,
Jeff
man.
is dressed for the occasion.
I am. Hey, happy President's Day,
red,
guys.
white, blue.
Yeah, we got to give some love to our presidents, of course, of this beautiful nation. Hey, when I tell you the weather yesterday was a little nippy when I went outside. I was trying to do some yard work, which is why I'm kind of stuffy right now. I got all those weeds out my yard. But
you got the weeds out.
Yeah,
that's good.
Today is going to be warmer. And guess what? Someone who's going to be telling us about this is not Justin Horn, but the one and only Mia Montgomery in the building.
Monday morning to you. I love it. Jeff always with the great sound effects, especially on a Monday. That's what we need waking up this morning for sure. Yes, yesterday it was cold out there in the morning. We had the gusty north winds that did not help. We had wind chills in the 20s across parts of the area yesterday. Not dealing with nearly as gusty of winds this morning. However, it is still another cold start. We're in the 30s for many locations early this President's Day, upper 20s across portions of the Hill Country, 29 in Kerrville, 37 right now here in San Antonio, 36 in New Braunfels, 30 degrees on the dot over in Bernie. Now we are going to start off the day with plenty of sunshine, but gradually see increasing cloud cover, especially by this afternoon and even more so this evening. High temperatures will be a bit warmer than what we saw yesterday as well. We got up to 59 Sunday afternoon. We've got a forecast high right around 64, so it is going to be somewhat seasonable out there later on today before we start to warm things up a little bit more so, but briefly by tomorrow. Near 70 degrees Tuesday afternoon after we potentially see a little bit of patchy fog and mist first thing tomorrow morning with a touch more humidity returning as well. Don't get used to that though, because our next cold front, this one pretty strong, moves in tomorrow evening. I think just after dinner time. That is going to send in another batch of colder air, not out of the woods yet when it comes to freezing temperatures. A hard freeze is looking more and more likely by Thursday morning. So you'll want to make sure all those hard freeze preparations are taken care of before we get to that point in time. We'll time out all these details and get you a look at that extended forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Mia. Let's take a look at your traffic authority to start your work week off here. And again, traffic looking okay for the most part here. Taking a look at Salado Creek. See if we get one more shot here. There is 37 at Fair Avenue. Not expecting too many people on the roads. Obviously, some folks may be taking the day off. Some schools are off today as well for President's Day. So hopefully we do have some light traffic day ahead for our Monday morning. Take a look here at 35 at North O'Connor Road. We have cleared out an accident that was on the exit ramp right there on O'Connor Road on the northeast side, and a little bit closer in northeast side. Keep in mind there is some construction work taking place near the airport. You see that little spot of yellow there at south of the San Antonio International Airport. They are working on some on one of the eastbound lanes there, so we will continue to monitor that situation as you make your way through your Monday morning. Jeff.
Out on the roadways right now with photojournalist Alex Gomez. How you doing? Happy President's Day. And of course, with that being said, a lot of people are off, so not much traffic.
Japhanie, good morning. Yeah, right now, not much traffic. I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of traffic this morning, so we'll see how that pans out right now. But right now, I am actually going to the east side. I'm hearing of a reported accident near some pretty busy surface roads, Walsham and Gibbs Sprawl. So I'll let you know what I see, but the highways right now are looking just fine, Japhanie.
All right, thanks so much, Alex. Please stay safe out there. Okay, so school choice vouchers, a subject that's been top of mind for many Texans lately. And now Governor Greg Abbott is set to come to private school in San Antonio later this evening with several other key lawmakers expected to make a new announcement.
It is a big day here. Ahead of his visit, our Devin Karp spoke with some parents and a local teacher about school vouchers. And he joins us this morning right here in the studio to tell us more about this. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, this is something that Governor Abbott and other lawmakers have been trying to get done for a while now. And over the weekend, when I was able to speak with some parents and teachers, they say it's left them divided. So let's start out exactly with what's going on with school choice. Well, we can see how this all starts off is tonight. Governor Greg Abbott set to be joined by several other lawmakers over at the San Antonio Christian School to talk about school vouchers, just as the Texas Senate finished passing Senate Bill 2. That uses $1 billion of state surplus funding to create educational savings accounts for around 100,000 kids, each one setting aside $10,000 for kids, $11,500 for kids with disabilities, to use towards private and charter schools, including some other expenses. Now, across town, I was able to speak with parents like at this soccer meet here who say they understand the need for families to choose the education option that suits them the best, but disagree on the money behind it.
It's really hard. We have to budget for it and really make sacrifices on other things that, maybe I want, but it's all about the kids. So it would be really nice to get some help on private school as well.
It's going to take a lot away from public school system, which is pretty nice in some areas.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested in having a coupon for the rich people.
Again, that meeting is set up for tonight at 5:30 over at the San Antonio Christian School on the far north side. We're going to have a crew out there covering it for tonight for our news at 6 and on the night beat, and we'll have a recap of what happens tomorrow morning on GMSA. RJ and Jaffney.
Thank you very much for that, Devin. Now to an update this morning on the San Antonio Park Police shooting where an officer shooting at a man at Woodlawn Lake Park. So new information from the Bexar County Magistrates is revealing more about the suspect accused of approaching an officer with a knife. That information combined with SAPD's records appear to show that it was 30-year-old Chase Deckard Thomas who drove a vehicle through the park and into the water and the lake. When a park police officer went to check on the driver, she says that he took out a knife and approached her, refusing to back off. That officer then fired 2 shots at the suspect, hitting him. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and has since been booked into the Bexar County Jail. So we are still waiting for San Antonio Police to confirm the name of that suspect. SAPD did say the officer who fired shots has been with the San Antonio Park Police Unit for 9 years.
Today marks 1 year since a beloved Northside ISD teacher tragically lost his life. We had a balloon release ceremony held over the weekend for Alfred Jimenez, known by his students as Mr. Fred. Now, district spokesperson Barry Perez, you may remember, says that Jimenez was trying to redirect a student, and during that altercation, he had fallen to the floor, hitting his head. This all happened last February inside a Brandeis High School classroom with students with severe learning and emotional disabilities. Sadly, Jimenez died 10 days later. Family and friends gathered at Bonnie Carter Park to remember him.
I appreciate everyone being here today in honor of Freddie. He really was a wonderful man, and I'll never forget him, never. And I'm sure he plays something in y'all's heart too that you'll never forget him either.
Now, the case has sparked discussions about safety of teachers in the classroom, and of course, it is something that KSAT is looking into as we speak.
And some sad news this morning. The co-owner of a popular local cowboy hat shop, Paris Hatters, the one right there on Houston near Broadway, announcing the passing of Myrna Cortez on Instagram. Cortez died on February 8th, surrounded by family and friends. The post went on to say in part that, quote, she will be dearly missed as she was an integral part of the Paris family. She had a wonderful sense of humor, a sharp wit, was generous and kind, and had a keen business acumen among many other traits, end quote.
All right, it is 5:08 right now. We're looking at 37 degrees outside. Yeah, you might need to do something to stay a little bit warm this morning.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next, Victor Wembanyama, Steph Castle, all in the mix for All-Star Weekend. We're going to recap some big moments, kind of clear up any confusion about what happened there. All-Star Weekend. Also, look ahead at the Spurs' next leg of their rodeo road trip.
Plus, we got a first look at the new iPhone SE, which is a Kindle feature that's no more. And Instagram is testing a dislike button, but there's a catch. All that's next.
A French native making his all-star debut, who's taken the league by storm from the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty cool moment.
Look how
there,
everybody came to his ankles.
That's true. Like little mini chihuahuas or something. All right. First of all, though, was anyone confused about this All-Star game situation? I was watching this. I was like, okay, 4 teams playing in a mini tournament for the first time. First team to score 40 points would win. It was weird. I didn't really like it. Anyways, Wemby was on Charles Barkley's team, and he did pretty good in his first All-Star appearance, Jeff.
So closing moments of the game, Wemby with the alley-oop slam from the Joker. Vic later storming down to the middle of the Monster Jam, and Wemby had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block as Team Chuck takes it 41-32, reaching that 40-point mark first to win the game 1.
For the San Antonio Spurs, Stephon Castle!
All right, the second game was basically the young guys versus the old guys. LeBron was like, said, "Nah, we good, man. I'm not playing tonight." So all of a sudden had an ankle injury. We didn't know about this. So we had another chance to see Spurs rookie Stephon Castle. He did pretty well. But again, was there any doubt that the actual All-Stars were not going to win this game? They were not going to let the rookie players win this.
Jaylen Brown actually went off. Of course, that dunk from Kyrie Irving. He went up on an 8-0 run all by himself. Castle finished with 6 points, keeping the game close. But Game Time delivered the dagger and 3 from the deep. And Team Shaq went on to win 42-35. So, okay, for your championship game on the All-Star Sunday, we wouldn't get a Wemby versus Castle showdown, but it's Team Shaq and Team Chuck, and Jason Tatum went off early.
Okay, so this was the quote-unquote championship game about this. All right, so JT right there scoring 8 straight points to put Team Shaq up early, and Team Chuck obviously not happy there. But once Wemby checked in, he went right to work again, hit a 3 there, and then we got a breakaway dunk at Wemby. There you go, right there. He had a nice putback slam a little bit early. All right, there we go. I feel this is like an NBA Jam situation. All right, look, basically this last game was not too competitive. The other team, the team in the blue, it was the team in the blue. Okay, yes, Team Shaq would win this one.
Yeah, 41-25 over Team Chuck. So, yeah, look at that, y'all. And while Wemby and Castle, were away from the All-Star weekend, the rest of the Spurs squad got a quick break in the middle of the rodeo road trip. San Antonio currently 2-4 on the first leg of the trip, entering the break. Okay. So, yeah, here's a look at that schedule up next. You got the Spurs are in Austin on Thursday, and that game against Phoenix tips off at 8:30 p.m. Then on Friday, Spurs stay in Austin to take on the Detroit Pistons. Sunday, the team is in New Orleans.
Yeah, so those next 2 games, obviously the games that they play every year now at the Moody Center up the road in Austin. So those are home games. Basic games. All right, let's take a look here at our traffic authority because Alex Gomez is at the scene of an incident right now. He mentioned earlier, I think this is around Walsham, Gibbs Sprawl. Alex, what's the latest out there?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So it looks like Walsham Road right now is going to be closed right north of Gibbs Sprawl right here. So I was hearing reports that someone was actually struck trying to cross the road over here. So they have closed down Walsham Road, again, right north of Gibbs Sprawl Road. I'm going to check with SAP to see if I can get some more information. But again, we still have an active scene with lots of first responders still out here. So I'll give you an update when I can, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alex, and we'll check back in with him in just a little bit.
All right, for now, let's get with Mia.
Yeah. Awesome Mia Montgomery.
I'm telling you, pumping my gas yesterday was so annoying because it's like the sun was out. It was pretty, but it felt not like that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you were in the shade yesterday and you got just a little bit of the breeze, it was cold.
It was very cold.
Even with total sunshine in the afternoon. Now, last week was quite the temperature roller coaster, and it shows no signs of letting up this week. So it is going to be another stretch of days to tune into GMSA every morning so that you know how to dress, because this morning it's cold. We're in the 30s, but take a look at your morning low temperature trend over the next week. We are going to quickly warm things up by tomorrow morning. We see a touch more humidity work back in overnight, maybe some patchy fog and a little bit of mist tomorrow. Low temperatures in the low 50s. That is above average for this time of year, but we are not finished with the winter temperatures. A strong cold front moving in just after dinner time tomorrow is going to send in another batch of colder Arctic air, a hard freeze possible Thursday morning. In fact, it is looking more and more likely. So that is going to be the big story here as we look ahead to the rest of the work week. Already near freezing levels, though, by Wednesday after we see that front push through the region. Now, we do have some freezing temperatures out there right now to kickstart this President's Day. 31 in Bulverde. It's 30 in Bernie. We have some upper 20s across portions of the hill country, specifically Kerrville and Comfort. Meanwhile, we're in the upper 30s right now here in San Antonio, 36 in Floresville. Good morning to you. 35 out east in Seguin. The good news is, and this is a big difference from yesterday, winds have dramatically calmed down. So we're not really looking at any major wind chill values or any feels like temperatures out there this morning. But still, it is cold. So if you are fixing to head out, you definitely will want to bundle up. But we will start to warm things up a bit more into the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine expected throughout the first half of the day. 55 degrees around lunchtime. We've got a forecast high right around 64. A little bit more cloud cover later on today. Overall, though, this afternoon is going to be pretty seasonable across the San Antonio area. Low 60s north of the Alamo City, perhaps some upper 60s, especially south of the Highway 90 corridor. We'll start to warm things up again a little bit more so into tomorrow. We're near 70. Then take a look at your high temperatures. We talked about lows. Now here are your high temperatures. Highs will likely struggle to climb out of the 40s starting Wednesday, lasting potentially through the first half of the upcoming weekend. So once again, more ups and downs when it comes to those thermometer readings over the next 7 days. There's already a low pressure system developing off to our northwest. This is essentially what's going to be tracking eastward here into tomorrow. Again, we're near 70 tomorrow afternoon, but just after dinner, I think closer to about 8 p.m., that's when here in San Antonio, we'll start to see this front dip its toes into the region, and then those gusty north winds kick on, allowing that colder air to move through. That's what's going to lead to jacket weather all day, every day, as we look ahead to the second half of the work week. And I mentioned that hard freeze potential by Thursday morning. These numbers will likely need to be adjusted by a few degrees here or there as we get closer to the day, but some upper teens also can't completely be ruled out across portions of the hill country. So while this morning, you really didn't need to worry about your pipes, you likely will want to protect those exposed pipes, all those hard freeze preparations that you had put in place earlier in the season back in January. Make sure that those are completed before that cold front gets here tomorrow evening. Just to be on the safe side again, it will be chilly even into the afternoons with that cloud cover hanging on all the way into the start of the upcoming weekend.
Okay, and like Justin said, if you don't want one of those little cover thingies, use a sock.
There you go. I've seen like the Whataburger cups too.
Yeah.
Like people will insulate it and then put a Whataburger cup over it.
Or if you're like me, you just never took them off.
I'm going to say it. Or you're like me and you never put them on and you just risk it. All right, here we go. It's 5:20 right now, 37 degrees outside.
All right, up next, we're talking about some big changes from tech giants, a new iPhone SE, a missing Kindle feature, and Instagram, how about this, testing a dislike button, but it's not where you might think. We have the very latest coming up.
In today's Tech Bites, the final countdown to Apple's big reveal. It's happening on Wednesday when it's widely expected that the new iPhone SE will be unveiled. Online tech reports suggest it'll cost just about $500, and pre-orders are expected to begin on Friday. Amazon removing a feature that allows you to download and back up Kindle books to your computer. It's useful when you don't have access to a Wi-Fi network and for backing up purchases or converting them to other formats compatible with non-Kindle e-readers. That change takes effect next Wednesday. And finally, Instagram is testing a dislike button. Instagram head Adam Mosseri says the button could be a way for users to vote down distasteful or irrelevant comments. It will not be possible to dislike content itself, just comments. Instagram will also not show dislike counts. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Lionel Moise. Have a great day.
Okay.
I mean,
that makes sense.
See, okay, so there's some post that comes up there. Some people be saying some funny stuff in the comment section.
I
So I already
agree.
know people will be like,
It's like that meme goes straight to the comments.
Right, exactly. I want to go to the comment section. Either way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's test it out. It is 5:25, 37 degrees outside.
All right, millions of granola bars recalled over possible metal contamination. We're going to give you the details and what you need to know. Welcome back. Let's check out some consumer headlines. The Food and Drug Administration alerting people of a recall involving 2.5 million cases of Made Good brand granola bars. Riverside Natural Foods Incorporated voluntarily recalling the products due to possible metal contamination. The company said the metal could be from a small flat brush bristle used in the manufacturing process. Made Good says that it will refund any products on that recall list.
Some travelers celebrated this past weekend by staying up all night with Southwest Airlines. It has officially launched its Red Eye overnight service. Right now, Southwest is offering one Red Eye flight per day on 5 such routes. It plans to get up to that, up that to 33 per day this summer. You know, I saw a movie that was called Red Eye before, and I never understood why it was called Red Eye, but now I guess
it's a direct overnight flight.
Well, you just stay up the whole time. I hope that don't mean for the pilots, too. Pilots, y'all ain't got, you better not see a lick of a red eye on you. You better keep going. Okay, 5:28 right now, 37 degrees outside.
All right, it's time to get a bit trashy. In a few days, thousands of volunteers will be putting on their gloves and start picking up all that trash. We're going to show you how the Basura Bash is helping you have a little more fun while cleaning up San Antonio.
And happy President's Day. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Those of you who are up, because I know some people are just like, yo, bro, I ain't got to go to school or work. I'll still sleep. Replay later, which is fine. If you guys are watching this, like
Justin Horn as well, yes.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Justin taking
spending some time with his girls. Yes, kids off from school. And that's the thing. I mean, I guess it's a good morning to stay inside with your cup of coffee because it's cold out there this morning. Take a look at temperatures across South Central Texas. We have managed to see a light freeze, mainly across the hill country. Upper 20s in Kerrville, even Comfort. Bernie was checking in the low 30s as well. 28 in Junction, 28 in Austin too. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, we are about 10 degrees warmer than that, but still very cold to kickstart this President's Day at 37, 33 out east in Gonzales. So you will want to bundle up if you are fixing to head out here this morning, but we will see the sun allow temperatures to warm already into the mid-50s by lunchtime. Daytime highs today will be a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday. We had a gorgeous day out there yesterday. It was a little bit breezy and still chilly out in the shade. We managed to get up to 59 degrees in San Antonio. We'll be about 5 degrees warmer this afternoon. Very seasonable at 64 for our daytime high. Notice the cloud cover gradually going to increase throughout the day. Mostly cloudy skies expected later on this evening. That is going to be the first signal of a touch more humidity that's going to be pumping in overnight tonight. I think that could lead to some areas of patchy fog, perhaps a little bit of mist and drizzle by this time tomorrow. Low temperatures will also be warmer as a result. Low 50s to kickstart your Tuesday. A brief warming trend in store over the next 24 to 36 hours. 70 degrees our forecast high tomorrow. Don't get used to it. Notice big changes already working in by Wednesday as we see our next strong cold front work in tomorrow evening. Not only will that send in some gusty north winds, but also much colder air. A hard freeze looking likely by Thursday morning. We'll talk more about that and get you all those details coming up in just a bit.
All right, TxDOT looking beautiful still. We are crash free, but I do want to let you guys know there is a stalled vehicle taking place right now on I-10 and I-35. They have a part of the lane and shoulder blocked right there that just popped up about 14 minutes ago. So if you are in that area, you see somebody with their lights flashing on the side of the road, please drive around them and drive slowly. Again, same construction zone has popped up, but again, we're not seeing too many backups because again, it is President's Day. So hopefully everybody is still chilling at home, relaxing and profiling.
Absolutely, yes. As we take a look here with Alex Gomez, he's at the scene of a incident that is off the highways, I believe on the east side of town, far east side. Alex, what's the latest out there?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. I was able to talk to SAPD, and they did tell me, and they were able to confirm that a man has died out here trying to cross Walsham Road, just north of Gibbsboro. So this is the car that actually hit that man, and it looks like there's no charges being pressed on this gentleman right now, just because it does look like the victim was wearing dark clothing. It's very poorly lit out here, and right now he is actually cooperating, and he stayed on scene just to help and render aid. So Walsham Road's going to be closed completely in both directions right here just north of Gibbsboro Road. However, there is a side street not too far from it. It's right behind the Valero called Branching Court. You'll be able to take that to get through this area, because right now SAPD says this is going to be closed for at least another hour.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex. And again, some unfortunate news there. It looks like we do have another pedestrian accident, really a string of them over the past couple of weeks or so. Thank you, Alex, for that update.
Definitely not some news that we want to wake up to, but of course we'll be following this throughout this morning. Okay, so yesterday's windy weather probably tossed around a lot of trash in your yard and neighborhood, and that's because San Antonio, we do got a trash problem.
A bit of one, yes. So in a few days, thousands of volunteers will be putting on their gloves and to start picking up all that trash. Patty Santos joining us live this morning. Patty is at the annual Basura Bash event that actually needs more volunteers. Good morning, Patty.
What a great way to start Monday morning than to enjoy the sights and sounds of the San Antonio River. If you are going to be planning on coming to that volunteer program, then you're going to need to bring a glove. You're also going to need to bring one of those trash grabby things. And if you don't have that, just show up and hold the bag. But already you can see there is trash here along the San Antonio River that needs to be picked up. There are over 25 different areas this weekend where volunteers are going to be picking up trash. This is the 30th annual year for Basura Bash. In that time, listen to this, 50,000 volunteers have picked up 1.6 million pounds of trash from creeks, and that means they're protecting wildlife, our drinking water, and the natural beauty of our rivers. This is the biggest single-day cleanup event in San Antonio. It is from 8:30 until noon this coming Saturday.
We don't need you to bring equipment. We just need you to dress appropriately. That's closed-toed shoes. Bring your own gloves if you got them, but we will have some to provide. And of course, check that weather. If it's nippy, bring a jacket. Last year we had some people show up in shorts. They only made it an hour before that wind took them down.
River Aid San Antonio is behind the cleanup efforts, but really it is all of our responsibilities. All of us have a little role in helping to clean up the waterways around the San Antonio area. On KSAT.com, you can actually read about a partnership between River Aid and some other organizations that is doing a little bit more to help keep this water clean. And, coming up next, we're going to talk about how that styrofoam cup that you're probably drinking your coffee from is a big contributor of the litter problem that we're seeing in the San Antonio River. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Patty. Look at your screen right now. This is some scary moments here, okay? So this is at an air show in Laredo that happened this past weekend. Pilot forced to make an emergency landing when his engine caught on fire. Organizers of the event say that the pilot suffered cuts and bruises, but fortunately was okay. He was flown to a hospital here in San Antonio as a precaution. No one else was hurt. Ooh, that's terrifying.
That is scary, yeah. Always kind of a scary scene there for the spectators as well. 5:38 right now, 37 degrees to start your Monday morning.
All right, we got that school voucher debate among Texas lawmakers or education savings accounts is nothing new. Similar ideas have been around for decades in Texas. Up next, we walk through the history of school voucher plans and what's happened in much more recent years to lead us to this political debate today.
All right, coming up on 5:42. Happy Monday to everyone out there. Well, later today, you see him right there behind Jeff, Governor Greg Abbott will be in the Alamo City making an appearance at SACS, San Antonio Christian School.
So he'll be out there to talk about school vouchers, which is a topic of controversy, especially among parents. But in this episode of KSAT Explains, Myra Arthur dives into the history of school vouchers.
The battle over school vouchers is center stage at the state capitol in 2025, but it's an idea that's been swirling in Texas for roughly 70 years.
The very first school voucher proposal in Texas was proposed right after the Brown versus Board of Education decision.
That decision in 1954 forced public schools to integrate, putting black students and white students in the same classrooms.
The leadership in Texas at that time wanted to come up with a proposal to allow for white parents to be able to take take their white kids out of integrated schools and put them in private schools.
This Texas legislative report spells it out, dated September 1st, 1956. The report recommends a tuition grant plan that would give students state funds to have the child educated in a segregated, non-sectarian private school. That state money would only be given upon affidavit that the child was being withdrawn from the public schools due to the parents' dislike of integration.
And that bill in that session was filibustered for, get this, 36 hours by Senator Henry B. Gonzalez of San Antonio, who said this was a disgusting, racist proposal. That's where it all started.
The idea of school vouchers has ebbed and flowed among Texas lawmakers ever since, often gaining traction when cultural tensions rise. Over the years, Democrats and Republicans who opposed vouchers argued they would drain money from public schools.
That part of the debate is not different now. What is different is the pressure campaign that Governor Abbott has engaged in over the last 2 years.
Before the 2023 legislative session, Governor Greg Abbott said passing a voucher plan was a priority.
Parents also deserve education freedom. Without that freedom, some parents are hindered in being able to help their child succeed. That must change.
But it never passed, even after special legislative sessions. So Governor Abbott promised he would campaign against those Republicans who opposed vouchers. And in state primaries, he did, targeting some longtime elected leaders like John Kemple in Seguin and Steve Allison in San Antonio. Anti-Allison ads didn't talk about school vouchers, however. They focused largely on a much more visible issue in Texas at the time, the border.
Governor Abbott doesn't trust Steve Allison to secure the border, and neither should we.
It worked. Allison, like several other Texas Republicans who voted against vouchers, lost.
I've been with the governor on every single issue, every single request he's made since I've been in the legislature, except this one issue.
Everything changed on this when out-of-state money started to flow into the campaign coffers of Governor Abbott.
A GOP megadonor from Pennsylvania, Jeff Yass, contributed $10 million to Governor Abbott. Yass is a billionaire investor known for his stake in TikTok and for his contributions to school voucher efforts nationwide. Here in Texas, his money helped the governor arrange a legislature more likely to give vouchers a passing grade.
All right, let's get out to the roadways real quick. Alex Gomez is unfortunately a very, very devastating situation right now.
That's right. East side of town, Gibbsboro Road near Walsham. Alex, what's the very latest out there?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So it's going to be on Walsham Road, just north of Gibbsboro Road. And I can tell you that SAPD confirmed there was a man trying to cross the street when he was actually fatally struck by this vehicle right here. So Walsham Road is going to be completely shut down in both directions, right near the railroad tracks. So there's actually a side street right behind the Valero over here. It's going to be called Branching Court. That's the side street that you're going to have to take to get around this. So I would just add a few minutes to your commute right now, because SAPD tells me that this scene is still going to be active and Walsham Road is still going to be shut, at least for the next hour.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alex. And of course, that'll be affecting a lot of our drivers over FM 78, Old Seguin Road in the Converse area. So we will get a few more updates from Alex throughout the rest of our Monday morning.
All right, let's get over to Mia Montgomery. Obviously, you know, it's President's Day. A lot of people are inside the house, not worrying about having to walk to or from the car right now.
But if you do have to walk to and from the car, and you do have to go to work this morning, you'll definitely want to bundle up. It's cold out there this morning, that is for sure. We're in the 30s, even some upper 20s across portions of the hill country. High temperatures are headed for the mid 60s today. Take a look at your temperature trend. Morning lows and highs through the upcoming work week. Remember the temperature roller coaster that we were talking about last week? Yep, it continues into this week as well, warming up even more so by tomorrow. In fact, we'll start to see a little bit more humidity work in too. So that's why your morning lows jump up into the low 50s by this time tomorrow. We're close to 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Then we see our next cold front, this one Arctic in nature, move in Tuesday evening, just after dinner time in San Antonio. You can see how that impacts your temperatures for the second half of the week. We're already near freezing by Wednesday. A hard freeze is expected Thursday morning, lows in the 20s. and high temperatures will likely struggle to climb out of the 40s Wednesday through potentially even Saturday into the upcoming weekend. So let's go ahead and time it out. Clear skies in place right now, 37 degrees. The good news is winds are not as gusty as what we were dealing with this time yesterday, which means we don't really have a whole lot of wind chill values to talk about this morning. Once we see the sun come up, we'll see plenty of it at least through lunchtime, then gradually starting to see the cloud cover work back in throughout the second half of the day. 51 degrees expected around 11 a.m. 62 by 2 o'clock this afternoon. We've got a forecast high pointed right around 64. Somewhat of a seasonable day across the San Antonio area. Perhaps some low 60s north of Highway 90, a little bit warmer the farther south that you go. 67 this afternoon in Pleasanton. Some low 70s for places like Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, as well as Laredo. I mentioned a little bit more of that moisture starting to work in later on tonight. You can see the cloud cover perhaps by tonight. A few sprinkles already starting to develop. I think we could see some areas of patchy fog for the Tuesday morning commute tomorrow. Perhaps a little bit of mist out there as well. We're going to keep a 20% chance for a few isolated light showers, mainly across our far eastern counties. The coastal plains near Hallettsville, Cuero, Victoria, even Beeville, Gonzales potentially. You'll have the best chance of tapping into just a little bit of light rain before we see this next cold front working close to 8 o'clock here in San Antonio, turning windy by Wednesday morning. Gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour expected. That means with actual air temperatures in the low 30s by that point in time, it will feel like the 20s Wednesday morning. Then actual air temperatures in the mid-20s expected by Thursday morning. So hard freeze preparations, people, pets, plants, as well as your exposed pipes. I think I got them all in there.
That was good.
You will want to make sure those are completed by the middle of the week. Thursday is looking to be the coldest morning over the next 7 days. And I do want to mention this.
Yes.
No winter weather.
Good.
If you have seen things like that on social media, nothing like that.
Yeah.
That 20% chance tomorrow, that would just be liquid rain again across the coast.
You know, and for people like
cold.
I will
Yes,
say
just cold.
those who have been posting that obviously is a big clickbaity thing because you'll see thousands of reactions. I was like, I could have sworn.
Right, no
that's
winter
not gonna happen.
storm, nothing like that for us. It's just gonna be cold.
Yes, y'all watch out for what y'all clicking on.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 5:50 right now, 37 degrees outside.
All right, two fan favorite franchises returning to theaters this weekend. How did the superhero or the bear? Who won at the box office? We'll check out some of the results.
The Chinese animated fantasy adventure Ne Zha 2 opened in 5th place, earning $7.3 million. Another animated film, Dog Man, fell from 1st to 4th place, adding $9.7 million. Hard Eyes made $10 million in its sophomore weekend, landing in 3rd place.
Paddington, there's a letter from Peru.
Paddington in Peru debuted number 2. The 3rd film in the franchise took in $13 million.
I want you, Captain America, to help me rebuild the Avengers.
Captain America Brave New World easily took the top spot, opening with $88.5 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Dan.
Welcome back. We'll still ahead at 6 o'clock. NBA All-Star Weekend has officially wrapped up. We're going to look ahead at the Spurs week ahead, including the games at the Moody Center up in Austin.
Hey, there we go. Thousands of volunteers also putting on some gloves to start picking up that trash in a few days. How Basura Bash is helping you have a little more fun while cleaning up San Antonio.
And taking a quick look here at Drive Cam, we do have an incident on the east side of town that has blocked Walsham Road. We're going to check in with Alex Gomez for the